Yes, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a transfer roundup. We've not done one of these for quite a while, so we thought we'll hit you today on this Friday with a transfer roundup whilst you're all enjoying the international break. So, first things first, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, like this video if you want some more transfer roundups during this international break while the content is very much dead. As you've probably seen on the channel, we're pretty much hitting FIFA every day. So if you've not got involved with the FIFA series, come check us out. Right, okay, let's get straight into it. Calvin Phillips is the first on the list, and according to Mark Douglas, City and Calvin Phillips are increasingly likely to part ways in January, with the most likely outcome being a loan move in the next transfer window, where there'll be plenty of interest, basically. Phillips had loads of interest in the summer, with Newcastle making inquiry early on. West Ham also interested, along with Liverpool, and there was interest from Bayern Munich as well. Everton had assessed the viability of a loan move for that, but it didn't really work out that way, as we know that Calvin Phillips is currently with us. Loads of clubs there interested in him. I think clubs will think that they can probably get the best out of him, something that City haven't done. And yeah, people will be looking to move on him. Whether it's January or summer. I think City might be looking to part ways in January, given the state of like his current game time. I think it's a shame for him. I thought he'd do really well. I was one of the early backers of Calvin Phillips when we first signed him, but it's just not worked out for him. Steve K of Football Transfers says Tottenham are also interested in Calvin Phillips ahead of this January transfer window, so that's one that we could be looking at, maybe a potential move to Spurs. And Christian Falk from Build says that Bayern Munich are also discussing Calvin Phillips, which is pretty mad, you know. He's got some mad clubs in there rooming to be around, and if they can get the best out of him and he thinks, you know what, I could probably get a decent bit of game time here, he might want the move as well, because as it stands, he's getting literally no game time at City. I think Pep's made it very clear that Calvin Phillips is not in the plans going forward. Right, another player, one that's came out of nowhere really, is on loan from PSG currently, and it's Xavi Simons. According to Build in Germany, City are one of the clubs lining up to take Xavi Simons next summer if he does not return to Leipzig on loan from PSG. Alongside Real Madrid, City are watching the attacking midfielders' performances closely. Xavi Simons is one that a lot of people have mentioned quite a lot of times, to be fair, in our streams. We've done transfer streams in the past, and his name always seems to pop up. So I was pretty surprised the day when I seen that rumour. I think he's a good player. I think there's a lot of talent in there. It'd be interesting to see the rest of his season at Leipzig and see what happens there. But let us know in the comments. You want to see Xavi Simons at City? He's one of them wonder kids, and everyone knows, like, back to FIFA and that. He balls out on that, but that's never a way to go about it. I think he's a football manager, Donny, as well. But yeah, Xavi Simons, let us know. Is that someone that you'd want to see pull on a City shirt at some point? Next up, Dani Olmo, sticking with Leipzig. According to Build again, Dani Olmo could leave Leipzig next summer, with Manchester City and Real Madrid, again, the most interested teams. Now, interestingly, we were both interested in Dani Olmo this year, towards the back end of the season, when we was looking at, back at the transfer window, when we was looking at Eze, Paqueta, things like that. Dani Olmo's name was getting thrown in and around there all the time. Now, could City look at this and potentially go, you know what? I think we do want a bit of Dani Olmo in this side. We'll have to wait and see until summer. Not going to be a January transfer at all. It's going to be cash as well. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. It's one definitely to keep our eye on. Dani Olmo to Manchester City. We've seen him score quite a few good goals. I rate him. I think he's all right. Not sure I've ever really thought about him in a City side, but it's an interesting one. If City do move for that, I think they'll have to pay Leipzig a decent bit of cash. Next up, speaking about cash, one of the biggest transfers of the summer was Jude Bellingham. And there has been talks about that deal. Real Madrid board member Jose Manuel Otero says the other day at lunch with Girona, people from City came to eat and they told us that they'd been talking to Bellingham. They said the father of Bellingham, Mark Bellingham, had entertained them a little by giving them hope, but Jude said no. He only wanted to play for Real Madrid. Quotes via AS in Spain. That's a bit of a rip, you know, because we was going big on the Jude Bellingham thing. I was so not convinced because it was a flip-flap transfer. I didn't know which way it was going to go, but I was gassed about it, thinking that we could have Jude Bellingham in our midfield, because look at what he's doing for Real Madrid now. He's absolutely smashing it. The guy's a next level talent, and yeah, is one that we have missed out on. And it's crazy because you look at teams paying like over £100 million for certain players. I know he basically only wanted Real Madrid anyway, but look at that Chelsea paying over that 100 million. What did they pay? 115 million for Moises Caicedo, and look at the price that they got Jude Bellingham for. Was it 105 or whatever it was? It's crazy to think that like the prices for some players is so high up nowadays. But yeah, we missed out on Jude. It is what it is. He didn't want to come to City. Another player on this list is Joao Felix. According to Razon in Spain, Manchester City twice turned down the chance to sign Joao Felix in the summer. Pep Guardiola did not show any interest at all in a deal, while his closest entourage made it clear that Felix wanted to make a great financial effort to secure a move. So guy wanted cash. City didn't really want him anyway. Pep said nah. It was a no-brainer. It wasn't a deal that was ever on the cards. There were people in our chats saying that should we go for Joao Felix? He seemed to have his heart destined on joining Barcelona, and he did get that move in the end. However, I don't think it's a move that City would have gone for. I thought he might cook at Chelsea, when he went there. I thought he might have done bits. He showed little glimpses. There were little signs there. That's what, when people were saying it in the chat, I entertained the idea of it, but it seemingly gets shut down by pretty much everyone, and including Pep Guardiola himself. Another deal that what a lot of the people in our streams had wanted is Joshua Kimmich. According to 90 Minutes, Manchester City remain interested in signing Josh Kimmich and could firm up their interest in 2024, with the player set to enter the final 18 months of his contract. City rate the 28-year-old as one of the best midfielders in world football, while his position versatility and ability to play in defence also makes him an even more attractive option. Now, if you look at this, if we're bidding off Calvin Phillips, he's getting into the last 18 months of his deal. And look at Rodri right now. We're in a position where we have to play Rodri all the time to keep this team ticking over, basically, because it doesn't work without him. So Kimmich, as much as it's very high profile, and people say, oh, but you're signing someone who's not going to be willing to sit on the bench, I think he'd get plenty of game time in this side, even if it's doing like the John Stones kind of role when he inverted into CDM, and then Kimmich could drop back when we've not got the ball kind of thing. Like I say, the versatility there with him, it'd be a great option. Now, Bayern would hold out for a lot of money. I get there's only 18 months left on his deal. It's still, to me, this seems very unlikely to happen at this stage, but it's one to definitely keep your eye on, because we're going to have to bolster our CDM position with the fact that we're going to be losing Calvin Phillips inevitably. Kovacic is a stand-in, really. We don't really want him in that role. He can play it. Nunes, never seen him play the 6, I don't think. I think he played there for Sporting. When he was at Sporting, I think he used to play the 6, but personally, I've never seen him play there, and he's not played there for us yet. So I think City will be looking at getting a CDM in, whether it's in the summer or January. I think more likely in the summer. Another player, this one's a bit of an unknown to me. Not going to bullshit you. Patrick Dorgu. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, Manchester City is showing an interest in US Lecce left-back Patrick Dorgu. Facing competition from Liverpool and Barcelona. City have observed the 18-year-old on international duty. However, the player is locked down to a deal until 2027, and his agent is like, we ain't really pushing for a move. We're doing decent here, getting some game time, and yeah, letting them progress like that. Now, City could be looking at that, saying, well, come over here and we'll turn you into a beast, or like we'll loan you out somewhere else, and then you can get your game time there rather than at Lecce. But again, another one that you just have to keep your eye out. It's one of the unknowns. If you've seen him, let me know in the comments. Is this guy a sick Donny who City should be looking at in that right back role? Let us know. Next and last is Joao Neves from Benfica. I noticed it, another Benfica player, another player called Joao. You know what I mean? What's going on, man? According to 90 Minutes again, he said Manchester City lead the race for Benfica's 19-year-old midfielder Joao Neves, rumoured to have a £103 million release clause, so that's big cash already. United, Dortmund, PSG and Juventus are all monitoring the player, but City apparently are leading the race for this guy. Can't say I know too much about this guy either. Should have done some research, but you know what it's like on City Extra. We don't really do that. Yeah, so I don't really know, but that's where you are going to give the content to me. Because let us know in the comments, Joao Neves, he's sick. £103 million release clause is a big release clause for someone that I've never even heard of. Or to be fair, my football brain might just be washed in it, you know what I mean? And I should have heard of this guy. But yeah, Joao Neves, midfielder, City obviously looking to improve that midfield a bit more. Could this be the guy? We're leading the race, £103 million release clause. Don't think we'd touch that, but... yeah, let us know. Do you want to see any of the transfers that we've gone through on this list? Do you want to see any of these players joining Manchester City? Let us know in the comment section below. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We're nearly at 83k. We're heading towards 100k. Get us that plaque, that 100k silver plaque, and we get a tick as well, so none of you lot can fraud us. Yeah, so let us know. Like the stream if you want, or like the video if you want some more transfer videos over the course of the international break, and enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Big up, and I'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.